Hey everyone, Christopher here with 3DO Gaming, and today I'm going to do a quick little review again of the Retroid Pocket 2 itself. I have officially had the system now for 1 month, and I just want to go ahead and give a little overview of the system for those that are still looking at getting it, may not have received theirs yet, or just may have just found my channel. So the Retroid Pocket 2 is an Android-based dual boot retro handheld. It's available from GoRetroid.com. Right now it's about $80 and you're gonna pay anywhere from $10 to $15 in shipping depending on where you live and which country. But it allows you to play, they advertised 12 different systems available on there, including MAME, Mega Drive, PSP, WonderSwan, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo, Game Boy Color, N64, Dreamcast, PlayStation, and TurboGrafx 16. I can affirm that it can play all those. If you go through my channel itself, I have actually covered 22 systems on this device, including that they don't list on there, the Neo Geo Pocket Color, the Atari 2600, the Atari 7800, of course, Android-based games, Sega CD, Sega 32X, we've done Nintendo DS, we've done the Atari Jaguar, which was not that great, but I'm still working on trying to get some tweaks there to try to make it a little more playable. We've also covered Virtual Boy, which that's another one. It's a little hit or miss, but they are playable still. The Atari Lynx, very playable on here. It's a lesser known handheld, but there's some phenomenal games that came out for it. So there's a lot of things you can do with the system. Now, as I said, it is a dual boot system. So one side is Android 6.0. The other side is a Retroid operating system that they put together that includes 2,300 plus games pre-installed on the device. Now, once you receive yours, this is the packaging it comes in. Very nice packaging, professionally made. This is not a cheap Chinese handheld. There are a lot of those on the market, and you need to be very careful when choosing a handheld, a retro handheld itself. Most of them are made in China. Nearly all of them are made in China. Most of them are shipping from China, just like the Retroid Pocket 2 does. The company itself is based out of Shenzhen. It will ship out of there, but it's quality packaging. This is not your run-of-the-mill, cheap, throw a box on it, change the name, and here you go. Now, the device itself, once you get this, you'll have the device in there. It does come with a tempered glass screen protector, which I have installed on my device. It comes with a power cable. It is USB-C charging. But the device itself, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you a little bit about this. It's a 3.5-inch screen. The screen quality on this is very, very good. In some of the videos, you'll see a little bit of the lines on there. Remember, this is being recorded, as well as I do have the tempered glass screen protector on there as well. But the screen quality on this is very nice. You'll have your standard 4-face buttons here, your A, B, X, Y. On the top, you have your shoulder buttons, your L, your R, your ZL, your ZR. You also have dual thumbsticks. This one is an analog thumbstick. This one is a digital one. I do have a video on my channel to show you the differences on that. Basically, this one you get full range of motion. This one is a preset range of motion. You have a D-pad. It's a very, very nice D-pad. I love how it feels. It's got a recess in the middle there, so you're not gonna be running all over there. It feels really nice using it. The layout of the buttons, it's meant to resemble the Switch. Now, I compared this to my Switch Lite. The thumbsticks are identical. They look and feel just like the Nintendo Switch thumbsticks. The spacing between the thumbstick and the D-pad here is nearly identical to the Switch Lite. The only difference is the thumbstick on this one, your D-pad, I'm sorry, your D-pad's actually larger. So it's a little easier to use. This is actually a little larger D-pad than you get on the Switch. On the bottom, you have your start button, your select, and your home. This will take you back to the main screen. You do have stereo speakers right on the bottom here, which I really like. And what the benefit of having this on the bottom is, it gives you a little more real estate to hold the device. So it's not a tiny device to hold. So you can use down here a little more comfortably because you have something else to hold down here. It's not a real small one where you're kind of just trying to hold onto it and play it at the same time. It's a little easier to get used to. On the bottom is your headphone jack. And this is where your micro SD card slot is. I like that it is not fully exposed, that there is a little cover on it there. This is not waterproof, so do not assume that. but it does give a little protection there. You're not going to accidentally knock it out. Plus, having the audio out on the bottom of the device, it's just a lot more convenient. I do not know why companies, some of them will put audio out on top. You're just have a cord dangling over in front of your screen. This way the cord is coming out in the bottom, makes it a lot more comfortable to use, and you're not going to be pulling your device with you if you move your head back and forth. Sides of the device, nothing. They're flush on the side, but it's a very nice looking device. Good weight to it. It's not cheap feeling. It is solid build quality on there. You would expect to pay more for this device based on its feel. It is not a cheap feeling device at all. The buttons itself, I like how they are lined up. They're not in line. It makes it easier to use, and it's more like more natural if you use any modern gaming controllers. They don't inline them like some of the handhelds do. So this is very nice. It's got a nice clicky feel to it, which I like. But the device itself, it's excellent. I've said I've had it for a month now. I still very much love mine. If you do buy it, it comes in 11 different colors. When the first pre-orders came out, and these are the ones that shipped at the end of August, or shipped in August, there was only 3 color options: the purple, the blue, and the orange. I do know this comes off a little yellowish. They call it orange, but they added 3 more colors almost immediately after the first pre-orders ended. But they've actually listened to their customers a lot, and they've added 5 additional colors on there. So there's 11 choices for you. They all come with a 32 gigabyte memory card installed. And of that 32 gigabyte memory card, there's only about 2 or 3 gigabytes available. You can't upgrade yours. This is what I have in mine currently. I have a 128 gig SanDisk Ultra Plus card. The manufacturer states that it can go up to 128 gigabytes. I have seen people put more in there, but by the manufacturer, 120 gigabyte is the max, which will give you a lot of room on there. You can put a lot of games on this device. I mean, as I said, I've demoed 22 different systems through my videos, and I've done over 110 different games uploaded on my channel. So if you want to take a look at some of the gameplay, you have over 110 games you can look at on my channel right now, which I'll have more going up this week, and we'll continue to be putting more up. And you can also see 22 different systems on there, so you can see how the games play. Some of them play really, really good. Some have a little issues. The system itself, it is a quad-core processor on it there, 1.5 gigahertz with 1 gig of RAM. The internal memory is not that much, so you're not going to get much on the internal memory, which is an issue sometimes with Android games because Android does require more internal memory for it to be able to play. So you have the option of, with Android 6.0 on this, you have the option of making the SD card your internal memory device. It's really up to you if you want to do that. There are positives and negatives to doing that. And you can go look on Google and see if it's for you. I personally did not do that because I like being able to take out my SD card, pop more games on there if I want to, switch some off if I want to. And if you make it internal, and it's not readable that easily with Windows. It's made just for the Android system at that point. The device itself has Wi-Fi built in and Bluetooth 4.0. So you are able to access the internet with this. And through the Retroid operating system, they have their own actual game store. And there's literally thousands of games that you can access through there. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the device, and then we're going to take a look at some things on here. All right, so my system is just turned on, and I'm in the Android system right now. When you first get your device, when you first turn it on, it is going to boot to the Android side. When you set it up, you'll go ahead and sign into your Wi-Fi at home. You'll sign into your Android account. It's basically just like setting up a new Android phone. It's very straightforward. Won't take you too long, nothing more than a couple of minutes at most. And then you're gonna be into the system itself. It'll have a nice, pretty background for you. One quick thing on the movement on the device. It is not a touch screen. So you will use your D-pad and you'll see a highlighted box over the item you're selecting, or you can push and hold the home button and a cursor arrow pops up. So you can choose where you want to go then at that point. Pressing the home button will always take you back to the screen. If you want to get rid of your cursor arrow, press and hold the home button, and now it is gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the apps menu. You'll press A to select, B to cancel. And once you log in, I've added a few apps on mine, but once you log in, you're gonna have several different emulators pre-installed on the Android side for you. You also will have 2 versions of RetroArch. Just depends on which one you prefer to use. They're a little bit different on what they have on the emulator side. I tend to use the Game Boy Advance version more. There's also 2 N64 emulators pre-installed. You got MoPen 64 Plus FC, and you have N64 OID. You'll have a MAME for Droid emulator pre-installed that'll allow you to play your MAME in arcade games. You'll have Neo Droid pre-installed. You will also have Steam Link installed, Scum VM for Scum, and PPSPP will be pre-installed also for you for your PlayStation Portable titles. You will have Classic Boy, which allows you to play a lot of the older Sega and Nintendo systems, pre-installed on there for you. You also will be given AM2R, which is another Metroid 2 remake, pre-installed on the device. I do have a video for that on my channel. It is a really, really good game and a lot of fun to play. That is put on there for you as well. Now, the first thing most of you would want to do is you want to access that Retroid side, the dual boot side. And that's this option right here. Now, when you open up yours for the first time, you're going to look at your menu and you're going to be like, where is this? It's not there. And they really don't tell you how to do this. It's really trial and error, but what you need to do is you need to go into Toolbox, which will be one of your last options out there. So you go ahead and open up Toolbox, and right down there, install Retroid Pocket app. Click on that, and then it's gonna unpack the Retroid app for you. At that point, then you will have in your menu this program, and that'll take you over to the dual boot side. And I'll take you there in just a little bit, and we'll take a look at that. Now, most of your emulation, unless you really want to get in depth with everything, RetroArch is a very simple, easy to use program once you get the basics down. So let's go ahead and load this one up. We'll press A to select it. And this is how the RetroArch app looks. Now, what's really going to throw you off first, as I told you, you press A to select on the Android side, and on the Retroid OS side, you'll press A also. In RetroArch, it is B that selects and A that cancels. They swap the keys. It's a RetroArch setting that way. So whenever you're in here and you need to select something, you're going to press B to select and not A. It can get a little frustrating at first because when I first loaded the RetroArch on here, I was trying to figure that out myself. Because I was like, I'm pressing A and it keeps going backwards. Now, what you'll do on here, once you first load up RetroArch, you're going to go, it should start right here, but it says load core. That is your emulators. So you're going to want to go ahead and press B on that. And these are the emulators that I have installed on RetroArch. Now, it's really entirely up to you and what you want on here, whatever you intend to play. But once you decide what you'd like, go down to download core, and you'll press the B to select there. And it'll have the full listing of the emulators available for this version of RetroArch. Download whichever ones you want. You don't have to download more than 1 or 2, or you can download 20, it's up to you. And this is how you'd play your games. Now, you can have the option to go ahead and load in the core here to have it ready, or you can go back and go to load content, select that, select your start directory, which I'll tell you about in just a second how that works. And then you can just select whatever title you want. So say if I wanted a Game Boy Advance game, go ahead and select that, and let's go through the list and say I wanted American Tail. American Tail. I could just go ahead and press B to select that, and it'll load up that game for me. Now, on the system itself, it comes with a 32 gigabyte card pre-installed. Now that 32 gigabyte card is mostly full right now with the Retroid operating system and the 2300 games that they've installed for you. Those 2300 games are not accessible on the Android side right away like this. So you're not going to be able to just play them through RetroArch. Those need to be played through the Retroid operating system. Once you have games that you want to put on there, what you would do is you take your how I did it at least, and I have a video on this too, on the website, on the channel. Go ahead and take your memory card out, pop it in a micro SD reader into your computer, and there's going to be folders pre-populated on there. You're going to want to look at the ROMs folder. That folder is where you're going to put all your games that you have. Under the ROMs folder, if you click on that, it's going to have all sorts of different folders on there available already. And your folders are going to look like this. So these are the folders right now that are under my ROMs directory. So yours is going to look similar to this already. And the reason why I know that, because in RetroArch, this start directory corresponds with that ROMs folder. So it makes it very, very easy for you to find your games. So go ahead and use that ROMs folder they have available for you. If you do decide to upgrade your memory card, take a look at my channel. I have a video on how to do that and how to copy all of the information on your old memory card and put it on the new memory card so that everything will still correspond. That is the absolute first thing I did before I even opened my system, before I ever turned it on, is I popped that memory card out that they gave me and I went ahead and upgraded it immediately. That way I didn't have to worry about changing anything else over. I had already, everything moved over to the size that I needed first. If you want to get out of any Android application, as I said earlier, the home button gets you out of there and it'll take you back to the main screen. If you are needing help with Android, there's tons of tutorials online about using Android. This is Android 6.0. It will be upgrading to Android 8.1. Retroid says no later than October 25th, they'll have that over-the-air update sent out to your devices. So I'm looking forward to that. But when you're done with the Android side and say you just want to play the games, you don't really want to hassle with anything else, you can go into the Retroid app. Now I've moved mine right up here, but if you go yours, it'll be in your menu. So go down to that and you just press A to select that and it'll take you over to the Retroid side. Now, if you're like me, and I like having just a few little quick things right there. So the Retroid one I put on the home screen. If you'd like to do that yourself, how you'll do that, push and hold the home button. Okay, there's the little cursor arrow. And A is still to select. Go ahead and select the menu button. And I already have mine on there. So say I want to Judge Dredd by Rebellion. Go ahead and press and hold A, your select button, but do not release. Press and hold it. And then just like on Android, you can now move it around. So say I want it on that screen. Now, right there, it's in front of my logo. I don't want that. So let's go ahead and press and hold again. And I can move it about the screen a little bit. So now I have the application right on here, so it's easier to use. You can do that all you want. There are different screens. So say if I don't want it on here, and I want to move it, let's go ahead and press and hold. Drag it to the side, and I'll put it on this screen here. Well, now I'm looking at this. I actually already have Judge right here, so let's get rid of it. Push and hold again, and up top, you'll have remove or uninstall. If you're done with the game and you don't like it, take it to the uninstall the trash can and let go, or you can just put it onto remove, and it'll get the icon off the screen for you. So let's go ahead and press home. And that's just a quick overview of the Android side. If you have any questions more about this, leave me a message below and I'll try to help you out as much as I can. But for now, let's go ahead and go over to the Retroid app and let's take a look at the Retroid operating system itself. Reboot to the Retroid Pocket system, yes. All right, so we're in the Retroid system now. So this is the layout of the system itself, the Retroid dual boot option. With this, as I said, there's 2,300 games preloaded in here, and some of them are really great. Some of them you're probably not going to want to play, and I'm going to show you how to get more on there, as well as to delete some of the games. So we're going to go through category first, and to shift on the top menu here, you're going to use your right and your L and R's, basically, and that'll go through the menu. When you're in the category section, it breaks down by what system it is. So this is the MAME games that are pre-installed, your PSP games, your PlayStation, your N64, and so on. I've already put up videos on the site, and I'll link them below, that you can go through and see every single game that's pre-installed on this device. I said it's 2,300 of them, so there are a lot. I also do have a console-only version of the listing, so some people don't care about the arcade games and you just want the console games. Now, if you want to add more games on there, when you're down here, there's a little more options there. X for the game store. Y is for net play. You can play this on the internet with other Retroid Pocket users. And start is for search games. So we're going to go ahead and press the X button. And this is the Retroid store itself. So it breaks it down by categories. There's PSP games, Dreamcast, and 64. Basically all the games that I quoted earlier, the systems I quoted earlier that they say you can play on here, they do have a storefront for. And they'll range anywhere from 100, 150 games, such as like the Dreamcast and 64 stores, to the upwards of 600s in PlayStation, PSP. And then you get into your Super Famicom, which is your Super Nintendo. And they have over thousands available on some of these. So, as I said, there are literally thousands of games for you to download. One thing with these stores, on any of these retro devices that actually have their own store, they do limit how many you can get. Now, a lot of the systems will only limit you to about 100 games you can download. With the Retroid Pocket 2, you are able to download 1,000 additional games for free. So you can try out games that you've never tried before, want to see how some work. They try to optimize these games for the device itself, so there's less tinkering you have to do if there's anything that needs to be done to make the game more playable. So it's just a very easy to use store for those of you that don't want to really care about the Android side or going more in depth with the emulators themselves. This kind of is a plug and play version. Load up the Retroid Pocket, dual boot option, and just enjoy the games. Now, that being said, let's go back home. So Y is to go back, A is to select. Say you see games on here that you don't care about. So, for example, say I don't like racing games, which I do, but if you don't like racing games, you need a Ridge Racer 2 on there, and you're like, I really don't want it. I'm never going to play it. So let's go ahead and go into your settings on the Retroid Pocket 2. When you're in the dual boot option, you're going to press and hold the home button. And it brings up the setting menu. Now, the setting menu here, I'll go over it a little bit with you. Handheld settings, key settings, which will allow you to change the button configurations, the game settings, game market, the user wizard, which is your initial startup wizard, factory data reset, if you want to delete everything. Don't recommend doing that. Or switch system. Now, the switch system option is how you would get back to the Android side. So if you're done with the Retroid side and you want to go back to the Android side because you want to play some Android games, or maybe you want to use one of the emulators on there, you'd select this option and it would take you back over. But let's go up to handheld settings and take a look at that. And as I said, A is okay, is your select. Y is your cancel. So in here, this is where you'd set up your Wi-Fi. One important thing to know about the Retroid Pocket 2, when you start up the system, it will load up an Android first, your initial time. So you'll set up through the Android system, you'll set up your Wi-Fi, you'll set up your Google account. After that, I'll show you on, there's a link below on how to install the Retroid Pocket 2 side. But you'll need to, when you get onto the system, you'll need to set up your Wi-Fi as well here. It does not carry over from the Google side. You can adjust your brightness, your sound, you can a sleep timer, and there's an auto shutdown feature. So it'll turn the system off if you're not using it after a while. So let me change my sleep actually. So we're gonna go ahead and press A for OK. Once you find, so you can go to never, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm gonna select. So I'm gonna go ahead and press A. Auto shutdown is at 4 hours. It's actually a little much for me. I'm gonna go to auto sleep after 1 hour, because I usually don't leave my device by itself. So we're done here, let's go back. Key settings. This is where you can do your keyboard layout, your key combinations, gamepad settings, if you ever want to change anything, or if you have a specific style that you prefer. Enter game settings. And this is where you can make some changes. Difficulty in live. So say you wanted to go in there, you can go in each one of these and change the difficulty settings. Kind of like a little cheat mode. Now here is where I said you can go ahead and delete stuff. You can delete an individual game under here. You can delete all the games. So say if you want to use, you like the Retroid system, but you really don't care the games they put on there, you just want to go ahead and start yourself, you can delete all the games if you want. I don't really recommend doing that because you're probably going to be deleting a lot that you do like, but it gives you the option. If you go to delete game, if you want to delete just one, you go ahead and press the A button to select. And then you're just going to go through here and choose whichever one you wanted to delete. Now all the games are numbered actually, so if there's a certain one that you really don't like, just remember what the number is, and you can delete it by that. As I said, I've installed about 9 games on here, so to give you an example, there's 2300 is WWF Crazy Wrestling, which is WWF the arcade game for the Super Nintendo. Now I don't want to delete any, so I'm going to go ahead and press the Y button to cancel. And Y button to go back. And I'm going to go back and we're going to load up one game here just to show you what you do. So whenever you find the game, so like if you want to play Bleach, you'd go ahead and press the A button for OK, and it would load up the game itself. There's no really settings on the emulator you'll change on this side. It's really much just a straightforward system for you to play. Now if you're done with the Retroid Pocket 2 side and you want to get back to Android, let's go ahead and press that home button again and go to switch system, and it will take you over to the Android side. And then it's going to restart for you. So let's go ahead and let that load up. Alrighty, the Android system is back up and loaded. And we will conclude my portion of the video here. I do hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little bit more about the system. If you have the system, I hope you love it. If you need any help, please leave a message below or send me a message on Twitter at 3DO Gaming, and I'll do my best to help you as much as possible. If you have any questions about the system, about getting one, GoRetroid.com is the manufacturer's website, and they have, as I said, 11 different options for the system. They run about $80 for this handheld itself, and about $10 to $15 for shipping costs. It is a phenomenal system. In my opinion, it is the best overall retro handheld out there right now. Now, as I said, there are different options out there depending on your budget. They go all the way up to $1,000. So comparing this to that is a little not realistic because you're getting a different price range there. But for the value being under $100 and all the capabilities it has, the feel, the quality of the system, I think it's a phenomenal device. I've had it for a month now, as I told you, and I still love mine. It is not something that I've put down, that I've wanted to look at another one, that I've felt that maybe I should have got this other device. No, I'm very, very happy with my purchase, and I hope you guys are too once you get it, if you do decide to buy it. There are many options with this device. 22 different systems I've reviewed, over 110 games. I'll be putting more up there. Please leave me a message if you do want to see anything specific. I will do my best to fulfill all the requests. I still have some I need to do, I know. I apologize to you guys if I haven't got to yours yet. I am working on them though, and I hope you've seen my channel. Follow me, like them, subscribe to my channel. And as I said, if you do enjoy it, please let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback on the system itself. If there's stuff you don't like about the system, let me know too. And I try to stay in contact with the company. I will try to get any answers for you that I can get and try to help you out if I know something that you need some information on. I'll be more than happy to try to help you as well. After this part here, I'm going to go ahead and show some more gameplay footage on the device itself. Some of them will be part of the videos I've already done before. Some of them are actually going to be new games on this video here. So take a look at them. Hope you enjoy them. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for following my channel there. I'm really glad that I started this. I've never meant to start a channel itself there. It really was me trying to help a friend, and he encouraged me to put the video on. And you guys have been phenomenal. So I thank you for everything. I mean, right now we're sitting at almost 500 followers, subscribers to this. I'm so grateful for all of you guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys around. Bye.
Please select a machine class. Kamada. Sierra. Get ready to race.
Are you nervous? I'm so excited! Come on! Hurry up and start the race! Three, 2, 1, go! Stop fooling around! Let's race! Three laps to go! What have I got? Round one. Fight! You win! Round two. Fight! You lose. Final round. Fight! You win! Round one. Fight! Outstanding. Round two. Fight! Fatality. Round one.
fight. Well done. Round 2, fight. Round 3, fight. Finish him.
Welcome to Mario Kart! Mario Grand Prix! Select your player! Yahoo! Select map!